howdy, hey,
Oh,
hello. Welcome back to another stream. I'm keeping an eye on the time as we speak. We are going against
Conestoga, I think.
I think.
The Condors.
Yeah, they're from Ontario, Canada, which is awesome. This is a ECAC stream for Rocket League. This is going to be best of 7. It's looking fairly even in terms of what I see stat-wise. I'm fairly excited. What about you?
We do have a slight advantage if you take a look at our match against Mount Aloysius versus their match against Mount Aloysius. However, doing that kind of stat balancing is not completely reliable.
Yeah.
Either way, we do have the um, more favorable odds in this
Yes.
situation. However, anything can happen.
Yeah.
We're rooting for our Vandals, though.
Yeah. Uh, been a lot of practice recently from what I know of.
Yes. Many big matches coming up soon, so
Yeah.
our varsity team has been locked in.
Which is awesome. Love to have those moments where you're just locked in.
Yeah, I'm just anxiously watching
Yeah.
the spectator right now because I'm like, oh,
uh,
okay. So we have Akaza, Delano, and Toa on the Condor side. Here we are moving up. We have no sound. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, Lots of bouncing into the air. Great movement here. Zachman makes that shot towards the goal, hits up top, gets a bounce towards Boofless. Boofless sends it back to center. Della gets that defense, but Logor isn't letting that
ah,
happen. Lots of bouncing around in front of the Condor goal, but we're not letting them get it too far away. Here we go, back into the corner. Boofless is passing to Logor. Logor makes it forward, gets over to, heads it on the ceiling. Akaza takes the defense, but gets knocked away from Logor, so Zachman can take that shot. Here's Boofless trying to get to the ball. Dell gets there
oh,
first. Logor taking it to the side. Now we're here, getting it up to the ceiling. This is great dynamics from our Vandals. Here we go, sending it to the
yes.
ground. Akaza and Toa do get there first, sent off to the side for Dell. Logor and Boofless get to the ball as well. Akaza takes it to the side. Boofless gets that demo. I love the new graphics we got. Shout out to our graphics team and to our
Yes.
broadcast for getting that set up.
Oh, those are really cool.
Yep. Boofless taking it up the wall and now sent to center. Zachman here sending that shot forward. Akaza gets that defense, sending it over to the Vandal territory, but we have Logor over there on defense. Great job deflecting, and now we're taking it back to the side. Toa does turn it back around, but Zachman's there on defense in front of the goal. Here we go. Maybe Akaza keeps trying to steal it, but Boofless is right there
Ooh.
ready to defend with Zachman supporting, taking it back around the corner. Gets stopped by Akaza, but not for long as he gets past the midfield line. Toa tries to turn it around, but Logor isn't letting that happen. We're back in the Condor corner, and we have Akaza trying to turn around, but Boofless isn't letting that happen. Here we go. Toa
Ooh.
tries to stop Boofless, but Zachman gets that shot
that.
with an assist from Boofless.
That was some smooth work there.
Yes, there were some fantastic plays from the Vandals there, and they just kept up that
Nice.
persistence.
Yeah, I really liked that nice smooth pass off the wall.
hmm
That was really, really nice.
Here we are back at kickoff. Toa and Logor go head to head. Toa gets the advantage now into Vandal territory, but Zachman gets the follow through, sends it to Boofless, who in the air bounces off the top. Zachman gets the rebound and scores a second point
Nice.
in 8 seconds.
Oh,
8 seconds.
that is great.
That that is not just great. That is fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
back to stream. Sorry, back to kickoff. I said stream, but yeah, English.
Both.
Toa gets that defense, but Logor takes that.
Hello?
Logor gets the grounding shot from Toa and
Oh.
takes that point, making this 3-0 for the Vandals.
Awesome. Really smooth angle, too. And we are back once again.
Yes, here we go. Here we go. Toa gets
Rapid
full
fire.
advantage for the kickoff, but Zachman gets a deflect. Akaza gets the ball in air, sends it to ground, only for Logor to steal it. Dell tries to get it. Boofless isn't letting that happen. They are in Vandal territory right now, but our Vandals defense is so solid. We're in Condor territory. Sent it straight through, post up top, off to the side. Dell tries to chase the ball. Boofless here with Logor, I believe, on support. Zachman over here on the other side, ready to pass the ball back to center for best shot. Akaza takes it back to the side. Logor's not letting that happen. Turning around the corner, gets it to the goal,
Ah.
not past Dell, but you know what? He follows through. We're moving past. Boofless comes
Oh.
to support. Toa gets that defense, shoots it straight back to Logor, who gets it to Zachman, and Zachman gets his
Nice.
third point of the match.
I'd like to mention, Boofless had some really nice air dribbling there for a second.
We're seeing some fantastic techniques from our Vandals here.
Yeah.
And it's just stacking up.
Yeah.
All right, Zachman gets the kickoff, goes mid. Here's Logor following the ball in air. Some nice flips. Zachman sends it off to the side for that bounce. Redirect to the middle for Boofless. Bounces off the top. Boofless doesn't quite get there, but he does follow off the side with Logor right there. We do have Condors on the defense. There's a pause for Logor, so he was able to flip it back. Didn't quite make it. Got it up to Zachman. Zachman gets it over to Boofless, who's surrounded by 3 Condors over in the corner. Logor helps out. Gets it back to the center. Zachman passes it to Logor once again. It's in the center. Toa takes advantage, passes by Zachman. We're turning around the side, up the wall, over the ceiling. We're air dribbling here. Boofless is following, but doesn't matter as Logor's on the ground, ready to steal. Dell tried to get it forward, did get it there, but Logor's on defense, sends it to Boofless off the other side. We're going to pass through the midfield right now. They miss that. Oh, no, they don't. They do get it to the center of Vandal territory, but we deflect it once again. Here's Toa trying to turn it back around at midfield, taking it to air. Zachman's deflecting, gets it to Boofless on the other side of the midfield line. Akaza steals it, gets demoed for his trouble, and Boofless in the corner over here turning it around. Toa steals, bounces off the wall, only for Zachman to steal it, sends it forward. Akaza tries to take control again, gets it to Dell. Dell only sends it further into their territory for Logor to take that shot.
With a little help from Akaza.
Akaza and Dell setting up that shot for Logor.
Thank you so much.
I love it when that happens. You know,
Always
not to
very-
us.
Always very nice when it's in our favor.
That does make this 5-0 with 1 minute remaining. Zachman gets advantage on the kickoff. Do we get the follow through? Toa gets to it first. Sends it to the air, but Logor, I believe, does follow the ball, gets it to stay in Condor territory. There's a demo. Yep, Zachman gets the air. Boofless following at midfield, making sure it doesn't cross that line. Sends it to Logor in center. Logor bounces it off the wall, sends it forward. Oh, the passing plays that are happening right now are
They're beautifully organized.
Oh, yeah. The amount of technique that takes.
Yeah. Technique and math.
So Boofless gets it around the corner. We're back to center. Here's Zachman confronting Akaza. Akaza does get the advantage to that. We're in Vandal territory, but Boofless isn't letting that happen. Logor is also on defense here. Toa turning around. Logor turn it back around. Zachman did drop back to defense real quick, is able to support Logor in defense, but Akaza steals it, takes it to the air, has a free goal right there. Unfortunate, as the Vandals were just a few seconds behind.
It is a definite skill to be able to switch from offense to defense with like the flip of a coin just like that.
Those are rotates. That's the importance of rotates.
I'm amazed by that. Because it's like a different mindset.
A little bit. Either way, it's kind of just trying to get control of the ball.
Yeah.
You just do it in different ways. Zachman, with those air dribbling skills, does get blocked by Akaza, but it makes it to the midfield line. And that is the end of the first game in this series in favor of the Vandals.
Wow.
Woo!
And it looks like we will have a moment of break because I saw the Condors needed a moment from what I heard.
Re-strategizing, probably. Seeing
Always
how
very, very
aggressive
smart. Yeah.
the Vandals can be. Can scare some people sometimes.
Boo.
Right in time for Halloween.
Yeah. There was some really good air dribbling there, and just passing in general.
Yes, lots of environment use, lots of bouncing off the walls that than previous weeks.
Yeah.
We get to see more dynamic dribbling skills as well as more passing plays than we have. I did enjoy how often they were centering it in air rather than trying to ground it first and get it to the center.
Yeah.
Not that it's like inherently a bad idea, but it just gave them more time to set up the actual play.
Yeah.
So I greatly enjoyed that.
Yeah. Overall, it feels a little more organized.
I feel like we're moving much calmer.
Yeah. That's very, very fair.
All right, here we go into the second game.
Nice.
I love Zachman's new skin, actually.
Yes.
That was awesome. Kickoff goes to Akaza, launching the ball center field Vandal territory.
Wow.
Zachman gets it off to the side. Toa ready, but Boofless takes it first, going around the corner, passes by. Oh, Akaza steals it, but Logor's right there, ready to follow through. It looks like the pace has been picked up just a bit. We're back in Vandal territory. Oh, Dell unfortunately misses that angle, and our Vandals are able to get that defense set up. Boofless now going forward. Akaza steals it on the bounce. Here's Zachman taking it around the side. There we go. Following the ball, Toa does steal Logor and Boofless following, sending it back to the side where Toa is. Toa takes it to the ceiling, now trying to run it across, sets it up for Akaza. Akaza sends it forward, but Zachman and Logor are set up for that defense with Boofless ready to be an enforcer. Here, Zachman turning it around with Dell as a confronter, and Zachman still holding strong with Logor and Boofless. Boofless now has control of the ball, sending it forward, gets it past the midfield line. We're now in Condor territory. Here we go, Akaza turning it around, and we are back into Vandal territory with the ball. Logor steals it, moves it so fast, we're bouncing right back to Condor territory. Now back to Vandal territory with Akaza, and Boofless is ready to fight with Zachman going against, I believe, Dell. There's a demo from Logor against Akaza, and Logor gets that point.
Across the field, no less. And thank you for the follow, Crypticism.
Yay! That is a very intense first goal. That was very contested.
So much back and forth.
Yes, but that makes a good match.
Yes.
Here we go. Zachman and Dell going for the ball first off kickoff. There's that bounce to get a little bit more momentum into the air. Toa following the ball into Vandal territory, trying to center it. Gets a good angle, but you know what? Boofless and Zachman are there for the defense. Akaza was not able to get that proper angle. Zachman gets control into the air, sent it to the ground where Akaza is. Akaza does try to turn it back to the Vandal territory. Boofless getting ready. Logor make sure that he doesn't have to do that defense so close to the goal. We're in Condor territory. Here's Toa trying to turn around. Does not get the ball. We don't have Zachman quite up there, so Dell gets the ball. Zachman tries to steal, misses, but Logor's right there for support. Make sure Toa can't move any farther, but gets support from Akaza. Boofless goes head-to-head with him, sends the ball flying to Logor. Logor gets it to the side where Dell is. Dell sends it forward to the middle. Boofless bounces it back. Logor tries to take control, gets it off to the side where Boofless is. Logor and Toa go head-to-head, goes more towards Akaza. Akaza and Zachman fighting over that ball here, going right back to the ceiling, into the air, sending it to the ground for that Boofless shot to the corner and back into center, but Toa was right there in the center of the goal. Here's Logor coming around the side. Whoa, there's Akaza using his boost over here, and we're back in the Condor corner with that bounce. Boofless going for that flip shot. Didn't quite make it, but did get us to the side where Logor is. Akaza does go for that defense, moves across the side, counters Boofless, gets past him. Zachman does deflect instead. Not quite able to get past all three of the Vandals. I was going to say four, but no.
Numbers are hard.
Numbers are hard. Englishing is hard. But we're right in front of the Condor goal right now. Akaza going for that defense, but that beautiful steal from Zachman gets the ball to Boofless, who's getting ready for that shot. Gets blocked by Dell. Moving a little bit more slowly, but that's okay. We're setting up for the shot. Here we go. Boofless following the ball back into defense where Toa and Akaza are trying to get control of the ball. Bounce off the wall. Boofless does get that control. Gets it to Zachman. Zachman has a clear shot. Second point of the match. There we go.
That was nice. That was so intense. There was so much just staying right there in the middle.
Mostly midfield, but a lot of trying to get the ball into the air, which is nice.
Yeah.
All right, kickoff here. Akaza gets control of the ball, gets it right to Logor. Logor takes it to the sky, goes past Toa, bounces off the top. Here's a post into rebound. Akaza gets that defense. Zachman bounces it right back into the corner. Toa trying to take control of the ball, gets it a little further ahead, gets it past midfield. It's trying to take it to the wall, but Logor steals, sends it flying to the side. Akaza trying to take the ball. Logor up there going forward. Dell's just waiting for a time to check in, but Logor is not letting that happen. No ball for you.
Hard pass.
Steal from Toa gets to Boofless. Boofless sends it to Zachman. Zachman sends it forward, and now we're moving, I guess, around the side.
Territory.
A little bit, yeah, but Toa's turning it around. Boofless, unfortunately, did not make that steal, but Logor does because we support each other in the Vandal team. Here we go.
Yeah.
Toa coming around the corner. Not fast enough as Zachman steals that ball. Gets it to Akaza, unfortunately, so they send it forward to Dell. Dell bounces it into the goal, making this a 2-1 match so far with 44 seconds left.
Whew.
We're doing pretty good.
Still very intense.
Mm-hmm. Whenever I say something nice about the team, please knock on wood. That's the only way to balance out the caster curse. Whoa! Toa gets full control of that kickoff, bounces off the side, almost gets a center shot right off the bat, but Zachman's there for defense. Akaza gets another centering shot. Boofless takes it off to the side. Now we're running around the wall. Gets past Dell. Gets it to Logor. Logor bounces it back off to the side. Akaza's there, but misses it. Zachman sends it forward towards the goal. Here we go. Bounces it to the ground. Akaza does get control of the ball, but Logor's not letting that happen. Bounces it back to the ceiling. Dell sends it to the Boofless over the Vandal goal. Yes, we're seeing some pretty impressive defense from our Vandals here. Zachman sends it to the center on ground where Dell is. Boofless tries to stop the momentum, but Dell's moving forward still. Boofless gets that demo. Akaza takes over for Dell. Takes it to the ceiling. Zachman steals it in air. Great trajectory there. Sends it to the side. Dell does steal it, but Logor takes it to the ground, back to Zachman, and that is second game won for the Vandals.
I couldn't entirely see that angle there for a second. I'm like, oh please, no.
It looked like it, but no. Just a little too short, wrong angle, send it a bit too acute to the ground.
Yeah.
Thank you, Monster, for giving me the energy to get through this stream.
Yeah. Seen some pretty intense energy from both sides, I feel like.
Yes. They definitely picked it up from the first match, but our Vandals are matching their energy, which means we're still keeping ahead just that much.
God, I love the wheels.
I know, right? All right, kickoff goes in favor of the Condors. Zachman takes that follow through, sends it flying to Logor. Logor sends it forward into Condor territory to Boofless and Zachman. Posts off the side.
Misses.
Toa follows through. Logor steals it, bounces it back to center where Akaza is. Akaza gets that touch, but it goes straight to Zachman. Does go over the line, but you know what? Dell was not able to follow through that forward push. Akaza tries to take it back and does not work as Logor gets forward, but Toa gets a rather impressive defense. Akaza gets that demo on Boofless, so Zachman has to come up forward, steals the ball, gets it to the corner. Here's Logor, and Boofless is back, sending it to the corner, but straight to the defenders. Here's Toa and Akaza going for the ball. Zachman getting into the air to deflect it away from Akaza. Great job there. Dell does try to go for the ball. Logor stealing it, going around. Here's Zachman. Okay. Here's, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Great things are happening right now. Lots of setup, really.
Yeah.
Logor bouncing the ball back, but Akaza prevents that wall hit. Boofless tries to steal. There was a demo. I don't know if Logor actually did that, but it happened.
I think so. It was against...
Yeah, it was a Condor.
Akaza, I think.
Akaza? Okay.
Yeah.
Toa's trying to chase the ball, but Boofless gets there first. Dell does bounce it off the wall, while Zachman does take it back to Condor direction. Here's Logor trying to get that center set up, and Zachman gets that shot. There we go. That's the first point after 2.5 minutes. Or a minute and a half.
Beautiful follow through. Monster energy, that's what we're on.
I guess so. I've had like less than half the can yet.
Hey, there's still time.
We had the advantage on kickoff, but they did take that follow through, meaning we are in Vandal territory right now. Zachman get that defense up into the air here. Zachman still chasing the ball, gets it to Boofless. Boofless going off the side, and there we go. Logor coming around the side. Yes, it is best of 7. And here we go. Dell taking the ball across the midfield. Zachman there for defense, sending it right back with Logor going to the air. Boofless is ready to support. Gets blocked by Dell. Oh, okay. We didn't follow that rule, but that's okay. Maybe it was just a touch. It was probably just a touch.
Yeah.
Anyway, Toa going forward into Vandal territory. Boofless immediately turning that around. Akaza trying to take it back. There we go. We have Zachman sending it back across the midfield, but Dell's turning it back around. Misses 2 Vandals. Misses a 3rd Vandal. Getting to the other side, but Zachman is setting up for that defense from Toa. Toa sends it forward.
Ooh.
There's Logor coming out from nowhere.
Never mind.
Demoed, though, but did... support the Vandals' defense. Here's Boofless and Zachman working so hard.
Oh my God.
Logor sending the ball forward to an empty goal and rolling it in. There we go.
Just a little too slow. Couldn't catch up with the ball. Look at that. Just
2-0.
wee. And it is currently 0-2 in terms of the set.
Yes,
correct?
the series and the game
Series.
score are the same at the moment, which is really appreciating.
Yes.
I'm appreciating it.
Yes, I'm trying not to say anything.
Zachman right off the kickoff gets that centering shot, gets it to Logor, and
nice.
Okay.
Smooth.
okay. Great job from our Vandals. That just happened. Logor gets that bounce off from defense straight
Oh.
into the goal.
That was so
Yes.
nice.
Yes. I like that. I like those easy shots.
Yeah.
Condors do get the advantage on the kickoff, but Zachman immediately turns it around, sending it straight
Hello?
above. Oh my. Okay. That was a great setup, and we bounced it a little too high. We're turning it around into Vandal territory, but our Vandals are turning it back around. We have Logor and Zachman taking the ball to defense. Dell bouncing it into the wall. There we go. Logor setting up to get that
Oh.
defensive shot. There's a post off the side of the Vandal goal. Dell's trying to block it from going past the midfield line, going for that straight shot. But Logor and
Oh.
Zachman with that save, taking it off to the side. Toa's trying to turn it back around. Zachman steals it with Logor in support. And now we're going forward into Condor territory. Coming around the corner. Here we go. And there is Toa turning it back around, only for Zachman to steal it right from under his nose. Boofless right there with Zachman, all setting up that shot, but Akaza is just waiting for his opportunity to steal the ball, sends it to the center, only for Boofless to steal it to, that's why you don't center in the middle of the field. Guess what? Guess where everybody is? In the center of the field.
What do you mean? I thought they would be on the edges or even on the ceiling.
That's where they should be. For a good pass, but it's fine. It's fine. We're back in Condor territory with the Vandals having full control because, center shots. Sorry, that's... Anyway, moving on. Boofless has control of the ball.
monster is kicking in.
I think it is too. Anyway, Boofless has the ball, 2 Condors on him, but you know what? Logor is there for support. The ball goes into the air. No one really has control. Dell takes it to the ground. Here we go. Boofless deflects it back into Condor territory on the other side. Dell right there with Toa trying to block it. Zachman rolling it. Dell trying to kick it up to Akaza. Akaza takes it around the corner. Boofless ready to gets a touch, but not quite control. Logor's right there on Vandal territory. Here we go. Getting defense, turning it back around. Toa's right there, ready. Does deflect it straight to Zachman. Zachman goes around, gets it up top, gets it to Logor. Logor bounces it back to the wall. There's getting it to the ground. It is 3-0 with 5 seconds left. I think we'll be fine. Zachman gets it centered. There we go. Akaza sends it flying. Logor gets that air shot. Literally any attempt they have right now, we're just following.
Bounce, bounce. There we go.
Yes, and that is the end of the 3rd game in the series so far. 3-0 Vandals' favor.
We are at match point, series point?
Technically series point.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to call it.
Yes.
Whew. Definitely still seeing the use of the same strategies, but I think it's working well. Though
Yes.
the Condors are definitely starting to get used to the strategy a little bit.
Yes, they're adapting quite a bit.
That's the word I was looking for.
Thought I just slipped that in for you.
Thank you. I could not remember the word.
Yeah, I do see them kind of rearranging their tactics. That that is being shown in how we're not making as many shots as we have been, but you know what? Our defense is still too solid for them to get through. So
sometimes defense is the best offense.
not quite how that saying goes.
Oh, come on.
That's not quite how that saying goes.
Sure it is.
No, it's the best offense. Sorry, the best defense is a great offense. I can English.
English is hard.
It shouldn't be for our job.
Listen.
All right, we're back into the 4th game. As said before, this is the series point. Kickoff goes to Conestoga. I tried. Zachman gets advantage of the ball, gets sent forward. Akaza's trying to follow in the corner. There's Logor, bounces off the the wall. There we go. Boofless getting ready. It gets turned around, but Logor's there with Toa. They're fighting over the ball. It's sent to the midfield. Here's Zachman turning around, gets it to the air, gets it to the ceiling, bounces off to Boofless. Boofless takes it. It's sent forward. There's Akaza trying to turn it around. Zachman unfortunately misses that steal, but Logor does not. We always have contingencies. There's Boofless trying to get the ball, bounces off the wall. There's Dell and Boofless fighting over it. Boofless gets the ball, goes around the corner. Here's Toa, and defense is not quite on point, but they're doing pretty good keeping us out of that center field. Logor stealing the ball, gets it sent to Zachman, who's coming up, passes Akaza. Akaza did get to deflect it to the other side, but Boofless is right over there. Logor's going for support. Dell is ready to defend, but we get past him, but do not get past Akaza. Akaza is just a solid player here. Yes.
Man, yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of doing research earlier, which I did do, but they had different players. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Hey.
But that is 1-0 for the sorry, 0-1 for the start. And looks like we're back in kickoff.
What? I'm trying to figure out what happened there.
Just wrong positioning from Zachman. An air shot.
That's fair. That happens to the best of us.
Akaza turning it around, gets a little aggressive, probably high morale from that shot earlier. Dell sends it to the center, but Boofless redirects to that corner. There we go. Logor taking it forward. There we go. Dell's trying to follow. Akaza's ready to stop, but Boofless is right there to support. Logor gets that turnaround. Demos Logor has a free goal right now, except for the fact that the Vandals have solid rotates and are already back in defense. Toa does send it forward to the Vandal goal. However, gets blocked by the Vandals. Here we go. Another block from Zachman. Dell sends it forward. Logor blocks it back to the corner. Zachman's trying to send it forward. Akaza trying to get that deflect, sends it to the ground. Here we go, turning around, trying to get control of the ball. There's a block from Dell, I believe, from one of our players getting close to the ball. Great strategy there, not necessarily demoing, but using your car to block other cars. That's,
I've seen us use it in more than one game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a solid play.
Yeah.
So Logor sending it forward to Boofless. Boofless does get blocked by Toa. Ball is free. There's Logor sending it forward. Boofless trying to get that right setup, trying to make sure that they don't get control of it. Turning around, gets that boost. Oh, but stolen by Dell. Zachman's ready to turn it back around, as is Akaza. Posts up top on the Vandal goal. It is centered. Toa's ready to go. Gets blocked by Zachman, sent off to the side. Here's Dell coming around the corner. There's Logor going back, and Akaza. Logor passes by Akaza. Toa's trying to turn it back around, but gets stolen by Logor. Logor's on fire tonight. Akaza's turning back around from the midfield, and here we go. Boofless stealing it. Boofless does get blocked by Dell. Akaza right over our goal, trying to get that center shot, but not quite there, as Zachman steals that shot from him right under his nose. A little literally.
Yeah.
Zachman taking it back over to the Condor side. Toa ready to block. Only gets it centered for us. And Boofless is ready to follow the ball. Akaza steals it, sends it flying over to the Vandal side. Logor. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lord.
Bounces off the top. Zachman's redirecting with Logor right there. We're running up the side. Here we go. Zachman gets blocked by Akaza a little bit, but Boofless takes advantage. And he gets the point. Whew. Yeah, there we go. It is 1-1 now.
They're definitely working a lot more on their defense, and
Yes.
offense, which is great. Makes a more interesting game,
Yes,
at least.
this has been quite the interesting game overall. Here's Dell taking advantage of the kickoff. There's Boofless taking that follow through. Logor on fire. Wow, he came out of nowhere. But unfortunately, Dell did steal that ball. They're rolling it in, and Dell gets that point with a little bit of help from... So them running side by side is a little bit of a strat to make sure that no one can demo, which...
However,
that's how that happened.
Yeah, and that's solid.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
solid.
it worked, right?
Yeah.
But, we can take this point back. There's the kickoff going in favor, now in Boofless's favor. Here's we go. Logor gets it, centers it. We have the ball flying free. Here's Logor coming around the side. Zachman sets it up for Logor to get that air hit into the Condor territory. Toa's trying to come around. Bounces off the wall before he can get there, though. Boofless gets it to the ground. Here we go. Zachman gets that shot. Oh, unfortunately, just the wrong angle because of that defense. Logor does make sure it stays in Condor territory. Boofless helping out. Toa's on that defense, trying hard. Oh my. Everybody was just lacking momentum there, so nothing was moving that fast. Zachman makes sure that it doesn't get past midfield line. There's Toa going for another shot. Gets stolen from by Boofless. Zachman taking it, trying to turn it around. We have less than 30 seconds left. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Logor, thank you for that defense. Bounces off the wall, and it is centered once again. And Dell gets that shot, making this 1-3 with only 13 seconds left. We are more than likely going into a game 5.
That's
sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say it, and it's not a cast. It's just 13 seconds left. We have to make 2 points, and that's just to get to overtime.
That's fair. Maybe we can have a run like the first round.
Maybe. I mean, if we can get a 5-second shot and like a 6-second shot, which are both possible.
Yeah.
Then yes. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Dang it.
Dang it. Whoa.
Akaza, how dare you be there?
Right? And that is the first win for Conestoga in this series, making this 3-1. We have
Very
another
solid
match coming up.
Yeah. Still very solid gameplay from both teams. I'm very excited to see how this goes.
All right. Do you think the Vandals will be picking up pace?
I think so. Definitely.
Yeah. I wish we saw the scoreboard before we started this next match, but it's fine.
It happens.
It's fine. All right. Here we go. Kickoff.
Wow.
Okay. Toa gets advantage on the kickoff, but we take the follow through. I think that's the main strat that we've been doing because we've kind of been giving them the
I've
kickoffs
noticed. I was kind of
while
confused.
we kind of use their hit to do like a follow through
Yeah.
straight to their side.
Which I suppose is interesting.
I mean, it's been working.
Yeah.
Here's Logor sending it to the other side. Toa's there, ready to set up, but Zachman's not letting that happen. There we go. Ball's in the air. Boofless turning it back into Condor territory. Akaza trying to turn it around. Here we go. Up in the corner. Sent it to the ground where Boofless is. Boofless doesn't quite get control. Dell gets it. Dell's sending it across. Gets it to Akaza. Akaza sends it flying. Gets it to the ground. It's bouncing. They don't quite have control of that bounce. Boofless going after the ball. Here's Toa turning it around. Lots of groundwork right now. Gets the demo.
Was that 2 demos?
Maybe Akaza gets that first point. This is not a great start to the match, but we can still turn this around. It's only been a minute. Less than a minute, actually.
Yeah. That was just unfortunate timing, I think.
A little bit.
I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
It's what happened.
Yeah.
There we go. We go for kickoff. Zachman and Dell going for it. Now Logor gets the advantage, bounces off the ceiling. Akaza's right there, sending it off to the side. And our Vandals are pushing back. Oh my goodness.
Just not enough boost, I don't think.
Yep. Anyway, it's 0-2.
We got this. There's still time.
I'm not really worried. But, yeah, back to kickoff.
Take 2.
There we go. Zachman with the advantage. We get the follow through as Logor sends it to the center. We have Zachman sending it to the ground. Logor has to bounce off to the side. Zachman gets control. There we go. Unfortunately, Toa's turning around into Vandal territory. Here's Logor turning it up the wall, trying to get it back into the air, getting some air dribbling time. Akaza gets it on the ground, but Boofless is chasing after it, gets control over it, steals it from Akaza, but Toa steals it from Boofless. Zachman gets the ball then, sending it flying over the midfield line where Akaza tries to bounce it, but it only gets straight to Zachman. Thankfully for us, we post up top, but Dell gets control of it, sends it flying. Boofless gets demoed. We saw that firsthand. But he was able to stop the momentum of the ball, so we are able to take back. Here's Boofless already back. Gets a conflict with Akaza. Akaza sending it forward into Vandal territory. Logor turning it back around, gets it around that side, up the wall, and now we're facing Boofless in the center. Toa bouncing it back to the wall. Zachman passes it to Boofless. Gets stolen by Dell going around the corner again. Logor takes it back and gets it to the center. There's Zachman. We are right in front of their goal. Anyway, just the right angle with the right amount of force, and we could get it in there, but their defense is picking up pace. We have Logor sending it back to the ground. Akaza steals it. We steal it from Akaza. There we go. Zachman. Okay, there's Dell stealing it from the center. Logor blocking that push, and Akaza trying to turn it back around in their favor. Zachman's not letting that happen. Sends it to Boofless. Boofless gets it. Posts up top. Grounds it. Oh my goodness. Logor taking it back to the side with Zachman as a
We're so
support.
close.
Akaza on defense. We are running them ragged on defense, but you know what? They're now turning it around. We are back on defense. Once again, Boofless taking it to the side where Logor is. Logor running it forward, passes by Toa, and Akaza is running back already. Boofless already over by the goal on the Condor side. Gets it to the side. There's Toa. Zachman does not get that steal, but Logor on support does. The ball is free. Logor sends it to Boofless in the center. Gets it sent post up top on the Condor goal. There we go. Logor and Toa going head to head. Boofless and Akaza going head to head. We're back in the Condor corner. Here's Dell over here. Zachman coming around the corner. Gets it across the field goal. Oh my goodness.
We're so close.
We have the control. We just need that little bit of push to get that ball in the hello, camo leader.
Wait. Hi.
It's just off the side of the goal, sent back to the wall. Toa takes control, getting it past the midfield line. Boofless isn't letting that happen. There we go. Zachman and Boofless running it back across, and Logor going for it. Akaza was as well. It gets back into Vandal territory. Toa tries to take control, gets back into Condor. Dell takes that advantage, gets control. Zachman steals it. We're going off to the side. Here's the corner where Logor is. Logor has to face Akaza. Akaza takes it to the center. We have Boofless and Zachman at the ball. It's 2-0 right now with a minute left. I am stressed.
We both are.
It's fine.
So close.
It's fine. Here we go. Akaza getting in a conflict with Logor, going for Zachman, passes them both, but Boofless is a steady wall, and nope, Toa steals it. Okay. It's fine. We got that deflect. Boofless is sending it into Condor territory. Dell's right there, bounces it off the wall. Toa misses that pass. Zachman gets it instead, trying to get it to center, bounces on the ground. Boofless did block a steal from Toa, but it did get the ball back to Vandal territory where Logor is. Logor and Boofless trying to turn the ball around. There's Dell. They're going to take this 14 seconds to try and get another point or just stop the Vandals from getting a point. Here we go. 9 seconds. Zachman taking it forward. We're bouncing off the ceiling. We're in Condor territory. Toa is stalling. And that's what's happening. Boom. That is another win for the Condors, making this 3-2.
That was intense.
Yeah.
They picked up pace.
That they did.
Hopefully, we're not going to see another 7 game.
Don't say that. Why did you say that?
I don't know.
So, yes, that was a good demo from Zach.
Yeah.
Zach's been doing great with that. Boofless takes advantage on the kickoff. There we go. Toa trying to turn it around. We're still in Condor territory. Logor did try to go for that air shot, but we're turned around. Zachman gets that defense, sends it forward. Dell tries to deflect, gets it right back to Logor. Logor is in Condor territory with the ball. Dell turning around. Holy wow. They picked up pace. Boofless in the Vandal corner. There's a demo from the Vandals. Akaza tries to steal it, tries to turn it around, but Boofless is right there. The ball gets sent forward. Zachman taking it back into Condor territory. Akaza trying to follow. Toa blocks Zachman's forward push. Logor does not quite make it in the air, but Boofless bounces it off the wall. There we go. Here we are going to the center. Akaza stealing it. Zachman tried to block the forward push. Logor was able to take it away, but not able to prevent the offensive push. Here we go. Boofless turning around, and we get back into Condor territory. Toa gets it on the ground, but we keep it from passing that midfield line. There we go. That bounce up top. Oh my goodness.
We're so close.
Boofless coming around the corner, but Dell does turn it back around. Zachman passes it back. Logor does not get that pass to the center, but Boofless follows through, gets it to the side. Dell does take it from here. We are in Vandal territory. Bounce off the ceiling to the center, and there's a ground push. Here we go. Zachman ready for defense. Blocks Akaza with Logor on support for the ball. Akaza still pushing, but we have Zachman off the side. We're back in Condor territory. Dell's trying to turn the ball around. Passes by Zachman, but not Boofless. Boofless sending it to the other side where Akaza is. Akaza's running around, gets it to the air, is almost a straight shot to the goal, but
like that.
Zachman!
We love that.
Woo! Thank you, Camo.
Thank you.
Toa on defense, turning it around. Here we go. We're moving forward. Gets it. Oh, no. Come on, defense. There we go. And Toa's trying to get that second shot there, but Zachman is turning around with Boofless on support. We're back in Condor territory here. Zachman going over Akaza. Akaza's still trying to follow the ball. Dell turns it around. And we have Logor stealing it from Dell. Akaza tries to steal it from us, but you know what? Boofless is right there. Passes by Boofless, but not Zachman. Zachman sends it flying in front of the goal. Boofless is right there. He gets the first point in 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Ooh, I forgot to breathe through like half of that.
So did I.
Well, you're the one talking.
But that is the first goal. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and we are back at kickoff. Logor gets the advantage on the kickoff here. Boofless follows, but Zachman's the one gets the follow through. Bounces off. Post up top. No. Toa takes it to the side. Zachman blocks a forward push. Logor's following the ball into Vandal territory. We have that rotate. But you know what? With that rotate comes Logor on defense. We get another shot to center. But you know what? Zachman's taking it off to the side. Dell's trying to get in position to block a push from midfield. Does get that, but it goes straight to Logor on the other side. Here we go. Gets to the air, and there's Toa taking it back to the side where Zachman is. Zachman launches it back.
Nice.
And we are playing tennis again. It's ping pong.
There's been some lovely saves from Zachman this round.
Yeah. Honestly, all of our Vandals have been doing a great job with their saves, positioning themselves correctly, and relying on their teammates to get those shots. That was a nice centering shot. Boofless blocks Akaza from a centering shot. And Zachman sends it flying over to the goal. Post up top, goes over to the other side where Dell is. Zachman follows through, though, and follows the ball. There's Akaza sending it straight to the Vandal goal. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually a post up top with kind of a support from Logor, but it was necessary because it blocked Akaza from going for a rebound shot.
Lovely, nevertheless.
Yes. Akaza going for another shot. Boofless blocking that. We're back in the Condor territory. And in that corner, we have Dell. Dell tries to push forward. Logor steals it. Toa takes that from him. Zachman blocking that midfield push. And Akaza sending it to the center where Toa is. Toa does not quite get that control. Boofless blocks him. Akaza does take it to the ground. And now we have that corner. There's a minute remaining. Do they get that shot? No, it's a post off the side with Boofless sending it to Logor off the side. Akaza tries to go for the ball again. Here we go. Dell running for the ball. Does not get it. Zachman gets it. And we are pushing into Condor territory once again. There's that corner hit, and we are centering it. Logor does not quite make that ball, but Boofless is right there for support. Akaza gets it from the air, sends it to the ground, ready to go forward with Dell. Ooh, there's a miss from Logor, I believe. Zachman at the defense. Toa right there, but Boofless on defense.
Yeah!
Right there! We're back in Condor territory. Here's Zachman in center. Sends it forward, post up top, bounce off the side. Where Boofless is supposed to be. He did get it, but unfortunately it was launched over to the Vandal territory. Logor trying to turn it around, trying to keep that ball from getting into the goal. Post up top twice from the Condors. Dell going for that other shot, but Boofless stealing and taking it back to the side. We're going for that shot, but here we go. 1 second left. There we go, and that is the series, Vandals and Vandal fans. That is a 4-2 series in our favor. We did it.
Only what was that? 1 point scored that entire game?
Yes, that is 5 minutes with only 1 point scored.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man, that was rough.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, the Vandals
that was
pulled
awesome.
through.
That was awesome, though.
Yeah.
So, we saw a lot of great things there.
Yeah. Lots of thievery.
I mean, that's kind of what you have to do when there's only one ball and you have to get it to the other side.
I mean, yeah. But still.
Love to see it. Great demos all around.
Yeah.
We had fantastic passing plays. We used the environment a lot more.
Yeah. Lots of defense.
Mhm.
So much strong
It was
defense.
a lot more back and forth than what we're usually seeing. And I'm
Yeah.
not just saying, oh, it was bouncing across the
Yeah.
midfield line a lot. No, we were switching from offense to defense a
Yeah.
lot more than we usually do. So I liked that a lot. We got to see a lot more dynamic skills from our Vandals as well as
Yeah.
different plays.
Yeah. And a few new rotations, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah.
A lot more trying to post up top to get that
Yeah.
bounce back into it, kind of disorient the opponents, which is nice.
Very
Very
nice. But I
nice.
think they were starting to try and work on that as well, it looked like.
Yes, that is something they were trying to adapt to.
Yeah.
Just a quick question to production. Are we going to be having an interview tonight? No, we shall not be.
Okay.
Okay.
So, that's about it from what I
Mhm.
know. Thank.
What?
Oh, we
Oh, we
have
have
replays.
Is it actually going to be replays?
Are they gonna work?
I mean, they did last week.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, that smooth shot.
We love to see it.
Ooh, we love
You
these
get
smooth
you get to
shots.
commentate on this.
Oh,
I already
great.
did.
Okay. So many angles.
Just point out what you notice.
Yeah. Once again, that one fascinates me.
Oh yeah, the angle.
The angle and just the slight bit of help from the other team.
I love
And
it
then,
when the other team helps.
You know, the cross field.
Oh yeah,
Those are always nice, and the clear shot there.
just rolling it across. Yeah, that's great.
That was also a very, very good shot. Just
Unfortunately
unfortunate
from
use
Dell.
of angles. Yeah. I think both teams had some really good shots.
Oh yeah. I mean, pretty much any shot's a good shot.
Yeah. Real. Very real. That one, when I was watching it at first, I thought it was going to be a post.
Oh, reasonable. We were at the side angle over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt mostly
Yeah.
because it was such an effective use of your teammates.
Yeah.
Just rolling it with your teammate right next to him to take any demos. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
painful.
But still, it's a good teamwork strategy. I wonder
Mhm.
if we could adapt to that a little more as well.
The thing is, it doesn't really fit into our playstyle.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
It is effective. It's just not
Yeah.
effective for us.
Yeah, and
So.
that's totally fair. That was everything from what I know. Remember, have a lovely night. Happy early Halloween if you celebrate. We're so close.
All right, Vandals. Good night, and Vandal fans.
Yeah, bye-bye.